Exile Island, a twist that has now become a mainstay in Survivor and exists in one form or another across 11 seasons of the show. Started off in a very out of left field fashion in Survivor Palau, where its mere existence did not exist in the mind of the show prior to the season already being in progress. That's right, this twist was made up mid-season. So how did it all begin and why was it created and implemented so quickly? Let's find out. I want to thank you for watching what I make and ultimately supporting what I do here with liking, commenting, and sharing. For only a few bucks a month on Patreon, you can pick what videos I make, watch all of this channel's content early, chat with other fans of the show, and even get exclusive videos every month. Thank you for your support. Let's go all the way to Survivor Palau. That's right, season 10, episode 10, when the final 8 go to compete for immunity. This is a challenge that requires them to stay under a metal grating for as long as possible while the tide slowly rises up. The claustrophobic definitely are gonna hate this one, and that's when, out of left field, Jeff Probst drops a bombshell on them.
One more thing. Today's challenge also reveals how you handle fear. First person to bail on this challenge will face the ultimate test of fear. You'll be taken to a new beach and abandoned there tonight to live on your own.
What? Where did this come from and why is it only being brought up now in episode 10? We've gotten pretty far in the season and there hasn't even been an inkling about anything like this. At no point during the season has this twist existed, and it isn't used again for another 2 seasons. It isn't something they're pulling from a past season like the Outcast twist or the fake merge. And while this is never explicitly stated in the show, it is pretty obvious where and why Survivor introduced the concept of Exile Island, and you only have to rewind back 2 episodes to see why. When Oolong has their final tribal council, and with only Stephanie remaining, she is sent back to camp to survive all by herself.
It's just
It's me now.
What do you think tonight's gonna be like?
It's gonna be scary.
We'll see what tomorrow brings. Grab your torch, head on back to camp. You're still alive.
It's a real cliffhanger ending that made Survivor the talk of the town that week when it aired, and you can't help but play the next episode once it ends to see what happens. It's all unprecedented. No one has ever lived by themselves on this show, especially not in the middle of the season. It all makes for compelling television that has Stephanie at her peak popularity, as she is a fighter who will just not give up.
I'm not sure I want to go to bed tonight because I don't want to lose this fire. I'm so scared when it goes out I won't be able to get it back. This is scary. This is scary as hell. This is the scariest thing and the hardest thing that I'll ever do. But I'll never give up.
The whole first third of this episode is dedicated to her struggles of being by herself, and of course it is all bolstered by the fact that she is a woman and not some manly man that you would expect to be like a wilderness expert. Stephanie is not burly, but she can certainly hold her own against all odds. The storytellers even have a bit of fun when intercutting her struggles with Karor's luxurious lifestyle and how easy they just have it in general.
Day 22. I made it. I was hoping I made it to this day.
I could sit here all day, which is probably what I plan to do for a while. You don't get food unless you go get it. I don't know what the hell they're daydreaming about.
Open.
Now, about halfway through episode 9, she is finally given the opportunity to leave Oolong and join Karor, effectively ending her time living alone, but watching her journey by herself and then landing on Karor feels like a sweet emotional payoff to all that time she spent suffering with the train wreck that was the Oolong tribe. So we cut to only 1 episode later, where it is clear Survivor likes the idea of only one person living by themselves and struggling. It's very man versus nature, survival at its most basic, yet its most raw. So at the immunity challenge, Jeff says that the first person who bows out of this competition will be sent to Exile Island to live by themselves for the night. All they will have is a pot, a machete, and a flint. And if you think about it, all else that is needed from a production standpoint is just a spare beach and a camera crew, and they got themselves Exile Island. It's pretty bare bones to put together. Anyways, Janu drops out after only 6 minutes into this immunity challenge, and everyone just laughs at her.
Yeah.
Just like that, Janu's out.
And when Jeff asks her, Janu, have you ever made a fire before? And she says no, once again, everyone laughs at her.
Have you made fire yet?
Oh no.
But why is that? Why is Janu being picked on by everyone else? Why are they laughing at her pains and her struggles? And why has Janu willingly picked Exile Island and seemingly would rather deal with that than these people laughing at her? Well, for the past few episodes, she has been a real downer. It seems like she might be sick because multiple players in this game have said Janu is just laying around doing nothing, being in a bad mood. From my observations just watching the show, it looks like she may be malnourished since she is already so thin to begin with, but rewinding to earlier this episode just goes to show how little Karor cares for her, as when she wins a reward with Tom, Greg, and Karen, she cannot stomach all of the food she is eating, and they act annoyed about this. Annoyed that she would dare get sick and waste this reward food, as if she is choosing to be sick.
You're kidding.
Yep, she is.
You know, it's kind of disappointing. You get this big meal in you, and we're all enjoying it and want to take down as much as possible. And you know, there's 4 other people that would have enjoyed it a ton, but unfortunately, Janu just couldn't handle the entire thing.
And when they arrive back at camp, they have brought with them food from the reward for the other 4 players who didn't get to go, but Janu takes some of that food for herself, which just continues to annoy the crap out of everyone.
I thought it was interesting that Janu decided to say, oh, you know, I didn't get to try that because she was vomiting or whatever, and she stuck her hands in there and ate our dessert.
So at this point, going to Exile Island is just a relief. No one will be judging her, and she can finally enjoy some peace and quiet. She doesn't care about the game anymore. And upon arriving on the beach, she immediately tries making fire, but just struggles and struggles.
This is very hard and it's very frustrating, but I don't want to give up. I just feel very inadequate because I see the fire come up and then it goes away.
Janu then finally does make fire many hours later and then enjoys herself. It is a stark contrast to her sad demeanor she has been experiencing for the last few episodes, and somehow Exile Island, the same scenario that made Stephanie sad and hating life, has brought joy to Janu, a strange occurrence to be sure.
I am probably the happiest that I have been in these 26 days because it's all about me and this little island.
The next day, she arrives back at Karor, where everyone anticipates she will complain about Exile Island just like she complains about everything else in their eyes, but they're all surprised when instead she says it was great, and Stephanie is visibly confused by this.
And how was it?
Great. You say it was great? Yeah.
Yes. To be honest, I didn't want to come back here. And when I got here, everybody was like, oh, that's great. Hey, good job. Way to go. The same people that were being rude and saying that I created animosity.
Exile Island brought peace into Janu's life, and for her, it was what helped her close the book on her survivor journey and gave her the courage to, I want to pause for a second because this may surprise you if you don't already know, but it gives her the courage to quit the game. A bit mind-blowing for sure, and I don't think Survivor thought it would have this kind of consequence.
What you need to understand from my point is that I already received what I needed to receive from this whole experience.
And you're fine with it. You're
Yes.
You could care less if you leave right now. Right?
Yes.
You are on your own quitting this game.
Yes, Jeff. I will lay down my torch this evening.
And that is the origins of Exile Island, or how Survivor concocted a twist mid-game that actually helped a player quit the game and keep fan favorite Stephanie alive for just one more episode. Clearly an unmitigated success, as only 2 seasons later it is brought back as the season-long twist that helped shape the game in more ways than one.
We are off the coast of Panama on a remote island that will play a dramatic role in the lives of our 16 survivors over the next 39 days. This is Exile Island.
So what do you think about the origins of Exile Island? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and if you like the content you see here, then please consider supporting me and this channel on Patreon. Your financial support makes this channel possible, so thank you, and thank you for watching.